Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a letter B using block letters. I have my 2 by 3 inch rectangle, and I always like to start with this left vertical sort of pillar. And I'm just going to decide how wide I want everything to be in this letter. The decision I make now will sort of affect how wide everything else becomes. And I'm just going to very lightly block in this left vertical. So now that I've got that section, I'm going to turn this line and add the legs to it to basically turn this into a letter E. I'll create the top one, making sure that this width matches the first width that I made. Then I'll slide down and make the bottom one, again matching the width. I like to do the top and bottom first, and now I'm going to sort of center to make that middle line. And I just guesstimate this part. I can make adjustments or shift it up or down if I think it's not quite perfect. But again, matching, getting a fairly consistent thickness. And now I have a letter E. Now to make this a little bit easier to see, I can erase where those lines, those sections now connect. And now we're gonna start to turn this into our B, first by making it into a figure 8. So I'm gonna take the right side and make my bar go across there. Again, the same width as everything else, and erase those connection points. So now it looks like what you'd see on a digital clock with a figure 8. And now to turn it into the B, we're going to take the corners and cap those corners off. So I'm going to decide, I'm going to try to do it pretty consistently for all of these inside corners to make it as consistent as I can. So I'm just going to try to find sort of a 45-degree angle and cut. Do the same thing here, trying to get the triangles to look the same when I cut them off. So those are the same, and then I'll repeat and repeat. If I can get those all to be fairly similar, that's going to make my shape a little bit more consistent. And then I'm going to erase where I've trimmed those corners off. This is going to start to make those curves. So now we can see the inside part of that B starting to curve. And now I'm going to take each one of those tilted lines, slide it back until it's the same thickness as all the other parts of my letter, and cut off the outside triangle as well. So I'll do that top one. I'll do that bottom one. And then for the inside one, it's going to sort of turn into a V shape. So if I slide that back, I don't really know how far to take that, so I'm just going to take it a little ways. And then take this one and slide it back. Again, always looking for that same consistent thickness. That then tells me what the last little parts are that I can erase. And there you have a nice, perfect, symmetrical letter B.